Hey Sharkaholics, it's Christi from the Shark After Dark, and I am lucky enough to be here at the studio at the Paramount with Envy on the Coast. Specifically, I have Ryan Hunter and Bryne Byrne with me.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
So you guys are on a reunion tour. You've been calling it a reincarnation, right? So that's pretty exciting. So let's start off with, where did we come up with the idea to have a reunion?
Well, so Ryan has a project called First Vows.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to be asked to play keyboards for that project for a couple shows earlier this spring. And while we were in rehearsals, he was like, let's do some Envy tunes for an encore. I'm like, that sounds like a cool idea. And we had really good musicians, so we did it. And the reaction was kind of crazy. And so that was sort of the first real inkling that we were going to do it for real. And this
so that kind of like reignited the passion in you, and you're like,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So then what did you do after that? Did you talk to the other members, like the other original, like Jeremy, Sal, Dan? And
Yeah, we spoke to everyone. I mean, this is something we wanted to do for a long time, but, you know, obviously people go their separate ways. And then the capacity in which we wanted to do it, everybody had differing opinions on that and how we wanted to go about it and all that. And it became pretty clear very early in conversations over a year ago that wasn't going to happen. And that's when we started entertaining the idea of like, okay, like we either have to come up with a different way to do this or that's it, it's dead, you know? So that's when we started thinking about that. It was over a year ago. And we slowly, meticulously, you know, sort of drafted the guys who are part of the band today now, you know. And
I love that you guys were like, you know, we want to do this, and you're not going to let anything stop you. You're like, you know, this is a good idea, and it feels right, and so let's get into it. So before you guys decided to do the reunion tour, and after, you know, the 2010 hiatus, I know you guys had like a lot of stuff going on. Instead of just abandoning music, like you still, do you want to tell me about some of the things that you guys have been doing to kind of keep busy during that time?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I work here at the Paramount, so that keeps me. Yeah, exactly. So we're actually coworkers.
Yeah. Crazy.
What are you pulling down
fans.
after taxes?
Wait, you get paid to be here?
No, I'm a stage manager here, so it's obviously kind of weird to be playing here, let alone headlining. But and I also have a solo project called The Hand That Wields It that I just put out an EP over this summer, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Can I, sorry, just before you
go
tell
ahead.
yours, how is it like going from a solo, like a band and working with people where you have to compromise and everyone gets to say, and now you have like a solo project where it's like my way and I can do what I want?
It's way better. It's way easier, and because for better or for worse, everything is on you. So like, there's no like other guy or girl, you know, emailing you being like, I need the thing, I need this piece of whatever, and it's just like, it goes as far as you want to take it, and that's probably why I only have like 500 followers on Facebook. I'm like pretty lazy.
That's pretty solid. You just put out some stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like 500 is a lot.
Is it?
I mean, I was bragging today about my like 300 Twitter followers. So.
Yeah.
I just broke 100 Twitter followers.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And
we're all famous.
And actually, it's funny because we were just talking about the other day, like when you have like such a small number of like followers, when you lose like 4 or 5 of them, you're just like, oh shit,
it's a big deal.
That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, you never want to lose them.
No.
And collect them all.
I offend people sometimes with my posts. I say stuff.
So what about you? You have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
right?
so I have a project called First Vows. So I've put out 2 EPs with that project. I'm working on another one, or it's pretty much done, that'll be putting out hopefully by the end of this year. I would say post Envy, we also had NK, which Bryne and I formed together and put out EPs and a full length with that as well. And I've done a bunch of production work for other artists. You know, sort of just bounced around over the course of the past 5-6 years, and just kept busy within music as a whole.
I also want to give you guys props. I mean, with all the people walking by and like waving, and
those are all our friends.
Oh, even better.
It's just a bunch of clowns that we know.
Chick knows who you are. What's up? Hiya. It's tight.
Yeah.
Well, I love that like you didn't even stop speaking. Like you still like turned, waved, made faces.
He's trying to keep it pro.
Going.
I don't care. I just want to see this guy. I don't know him. This guy has pool noodles.
He's
attached
your
to
new
his...
#1 fan. He just followed you on Twitter.
Oh my
what's
god.
up.
I don't think he has any.
You got the pool noodle on the bicycle.
Yeah, that's important.
That's pro.
I don't know if you saw, it looks like E.T.'s going to pop out from that basket in the back any second now.
Can never be too careful.
Yeah. So, all right, getting back to now this reincarnation. How did you find, I know Doug previously toured with you, but how did you find everyone to get into this tour?
Gray.
Doug was the first piece. Doug was like the first call, like, we got to get Doug because he is the centerpiece of like what we do live.
And it already took a long time to find Doug when we found him in the context of Sal and Jer still being in our band, because that's, we found Doug back then. The difficult thing about sort of what we needed in looking for a drummer is that Dan, who was our original drummer, was very technical and very mathematical, stylistically speaking, and I ended up playing drums on Low Country, the last record we put out, and I'm the exact opposite, and I'm much more feel-oriented and groove-oriented, so we needed somebody who could do both, so that we can seamlessly play all these songs in the context of a set list, and Doug's defies all odds and everything. Like he's just
logic, gravity.
Yeah, it's unreal. So
that's true skill.
Yeah, he's serious.
Yeah, I mean, people sort of clowned us for the fact that we were like looking on YouTube and asking for submissions from people, and we watched a lot of submissions, and that's how we found Doug. Like we found him on YouTube, and we were just like, oh my, this is the dude.
He was worlds better than like the best audition that we had. We thought we were like kind of giving up on the YouTube thing.
It was tough. We had hired 3 different people to play on the record before I ended up playing on it. Wow. So it was a long process getting to Doug. So that was the Bride, Doug, and I, and then Gray, who plays bass for us, Gray Robertson. I saw play for the first time about 8 years ago now, I guess 7-8 years ago. He played with a guy named Gavin Castleton, and I saw them play here in the Northeast and was like, that's my dude if I'm ever doing anything with my own project.
Really? You remembered him from 8 years ago?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I knew that he was going to be my phone call, him and this dude Javier. And when I moved out to California to start working on First Vows, Gray and I started playing together. So he's been playing with me within First Vows for now about 2 years. Okay. And then it was pretty easy to, just be like, I just called him and was like, you want to do this? And I'm pretty sure he learned the songs in like a week and was like, yeah, I'm down. And then Dan Ellis was the last piece. We had a few different people who were up for consideration for that role. Sal's super talented dude, and he's the utility knife of the band, or was the utility knife of the band in the sense that he played keys and had the very high vocal range and played guitar as well. So pretty specific skill set to fill. Yeah. And
I actually went to college with Dan at Berkeley, and I remembered I for some reason just didn't cross my mind. He came through here with Avril Lavigne because he was her touring guitar player, and then awesome. We like reconnected because I had seen him in college play with his bands who were unbelievable, and when all the names were getting tossed around for who was going to fill that role, the person that we had asked was already booked and brought up Dan's name. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't think of him. And me and Ryan just went on YouTube and looked at what he was doing, and he's like outrageously talented.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good.
it's unbelievable.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it all came together, even though people were really clowning you.
Yeah,
clowning you.
Yeah,
I can't believe that they would clown you for that, because I mean that's basically what Stone Temple Pilots are doing right now too.
That's true.
So you guys are trendsetters, actually.
There you go.
Actually, well, no one knows this, but they did steal that from us.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
So, you guys originally started out, it was going to be a much shorter tour. Mm-hmm. What made you decide, you know what, this is awesome, let's keep going with it and add more dates?
The people just commenting on Facebook and tweeting at us and everything, and just the reaction as a whole. We were just like, wow, to be blatantly honest, our booking agent called us and was like, you guys should do, more. And the preparation that it was going to take to put it, to do the 2 or 3 shows that we were going to do, we figured all right, we all have these crazy lives where we're working on separate projects and everything. If we're all going to be out there and we're going to have this whole crew of people to accomplish this thing, we might as well just do it now, because come the end of this thing, we're going to go back to working on our other projects for a bit.
Oh, yeah, you don't think you're... Oh, wait, just for a bit?
Just for a bit.
All right, I like how you leave that off. Yeah. Maybe some hope for the future.
No, I mean, the whole...
It's all in consideration,
Yeah, the whole idea, the difference between the reincarnation and reunion, and the difference between those words is a lot of bands now, come back and they do their 2 or 3, date runs or whatever and play into the nostalgia thing. And we're doing that right now. But the whole idea is that, we want to make new material.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. All right. So last question is just going to be, what are you expecting, like, from working here and now performing on the stage? Like, for you, how is that? Is that going to be weird? Is it going to be better? It's just different, or what?
It's definitely going to be better than working.
Well, I mean, compared to other venues.
Well, what's weird is that I've worked so many shows here and sort of always looked out on like an empty floor. I've looked out on a full floor after hundreds of shows, and I've just been like, obviously the thought creeps up in your mind. It's like, it'd be cool to like play guitar and have those people be my people that are there to see my band. And
people.
Even during sound check before, I was just like, this is weird because I've always wanted to play guitar on the stage and I like never have gotten to, just because I just haven't, and now I get to, so it'll be cool. Yeah.
So your dream come true, you get to play on the stage, and then fans' dream come true, you guys are back and they get to come see you play on stage.
Yeah,
totally.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like, we did New York City the other night, and like neither of us really knew what to expect, and it was like way more intense than I had anticipated.
Yeah.
So. All right, Webster Hall, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was very hot.
It was. Yeah, but no, it was nuts. I mean, there were points where I couldn't hear myself sing because everybody in the crowd was singing along. Wow. So it's just, it was wild. So.
Yeah, I didn't know what kind of reaction we were going to garner. We've been gone for 6 years, and we were never like, gigantic anywhere. It's like, and I felt, for a second I was just like, oh my god, like this is a lot. It's a lot of reaction.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that we're going to get some more stuff. At least it's being considered in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you guys so much for taking the time out.
Of course, thanks for having us.
To come down and talk to me and all the Shark listeners.
Of course, anytime.
To me and all the Shark listeners.